A very good afternoon. You're watching NewsX and I'm Shivani Singh. The top story that we're looking at today is Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who has spent his Diwali with the Indian Navy, marking his 12th Diwali with the armed forces. After pushing for Swadeshi goods in his earlier Diwali message to the nation, the Prime Minister celebrated his Diwali by addressing Navy personnel atop INS Vikrant, India's first indigenously built aircraft carrier. PM Modi also interacted with Navy braves, feeding them sweets on the auspicious occasion. The Prime Minister asserted that he was fortunate to be spending the holy festival with the brave soldiers. PM Modi also spoke about INS Vikrant, saying it reflects the capability of India's armed forces. The PM stated, and I quote, "It brought Pakistan to its knees within days during Operation Sindoor. Extraordinary coordination among the three services together compelled Pakistan to surrender." Listen in to this snippet from the Prime Minister's speech.
हमारा आईएनएस विक्रांत आज आत्मनिर्भर भारत और मेड इन इंडिया का बहुत बड़ा प्रतीक है। महासागर को चीरता हुआ स्वदेशी आईएनएस विक्रांत भारत की सैन्य क्षमता का प्रतिबिंब है। अभी कुछ ही महीने पहले हमने देखा है विक्रांत ने अपने नाम से ही पूरे पाकिस्तान की रातों की नींद उड़ा दी।
All right, on your screens you can see there Prime Minister Narendra Modi in fact meeting with Navy personnel in Goa. He's greeting them, he's spending his Diwali with these brave hearts. In fact, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been spending the last 12 years with the armed forces. Joining me on the broadcast is Captain Shyam Kumar, former Navy officer. Thank you, sir, for joining us. We appreciate your time. A very joyous occasion. We see the Prime Minister, in fact, spending his Diwali with the Navy personnel or aboard INS Vikrant. Your first comments, sir?
Thank you, Shivani. Jai Hind and Son of Varuna. May the Lord Varuna be auspicious upon the naval warriors. It's a great occasion. INS Vikrant, the mighty ship of Indian Navy aircraft carrier, indigenously built and operating with all its might and strength, teeth of naval air arm, supported by the fleet ships, submarines, aircraft, and the Prime Minister's message on board INS Vikrant at Goa today after this Operation Sindoor is a clear-cut message of bravery and the gratitude that our Prime Minister is giving to the naval warriors. So congratulations to the grit, to the determination, and the way Indian naval fleet operated during the Operation Sindoor. And I must say, just 2 days after the Pahalgam attack, the Indian Navy with its potent might ships were at the exercise and showing the live firing of surface to surface, surface to air, torpedoes, and the surveillance aircraft, which actually made the Indian Navy's role very, very prudent and kept the ships of Pakistani Navy close to the harbor. And the prospects of attack on Karachi, I'm sure has given a clear leverage for the Indian Armed Forces and our political will that Pakistan came running to us for the ceasefire. And today, Prime Minister, I think, has given a very clear message to the world, to China, to Pakistan, that Arabian Sea, Indian Ocean and Bay of Bengal is secure because our Navy is working day and night with day-to-day increase in fleet strength, submarine strength, and technologically advancing our Navy to outreach in Arabian Sea and beyond to blue water capabilities. So we don't even look at Pakistan in that sense. We look at China, and we want to restrict their movement into our area of interest. Today we are looking at Singapore, coordinated patrol at Malacca State. We are going to South China Sea, Japan, Vietnam, and Philippines. And we are in Mediterranean with Greece and Cyprus. And Israel is our all-weather friend. We are going to circle China and carry out our operations so that our endeavor, our force, and even the friendly way to operate in this area of operation during the crisis, during the search and rescue missions, etc., as a big brother role also is getting evident. So I'm sure we must thank our Prime Minister for celebrating this Diwali as he does always with armed forces. This time he has chosen the naval warriors. It was difficult earlier because a lot of problems are there for logistics support when we operate Prime Minister at sea. But Indian Navy has shown that strength and that willpower, and Prime Minister has rightly there to give the Swadeshi to the naval warriors, and the nation is looking at it. So I'm sure the naval warriors are very happy. I wish all the best to all the naval warriors, to the nation and everyone who are watching this. And we are ready for Pakistan. Any tustas, anything which he does next time, Navy will be the first one. We are ready to open our guns, and that would be very, very devastating. Over to you, Shivan.
Some very pertinent points raised by you. I'll ask you to please stay on with us. I'm also joined by Captain Sanjay Kadve, former Navy officer. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Appreciate your time. I also want to get your opinion on this. This is a very historic and landmark day, and the timing is also very significant, sir, because it's the first time that he is spending his Diwali with naval officers and also aboard the INS Vikrant. So it's very significant given the backdrop that in Operation Sindoor, when only there were reports of INS Vikrant being mobilized, actually Pakistan came down to its knees.
Good afternoon, Shivani. Wish you, your viewers and listeners a very happy and prosperous Diwali. We have to look at the Prime Minister's spending the Diwali with Navy in the context that he makes it a point of spending Diwali with the armed forces. Until now, it has generally been the Indian Army, either in the Siachen or in the forward area. This time, he's chosen the Indian Navy, thereby underlining the Navy's importance. Navy, unfortunately, over the years, is being termed as the silent service, unlike the Indian Air Force or the Indian Army, which can always be seen operating in the front or in the sky, whereas the Navy, being away from the shores, is away from the visual impact of a common man. And as you being in the media will be the first to admit, visual impact is the most which matters. Secondly, by choosing INS Vikrant, an Indian-built aircraft carrier, he has also sent a message across the world that, look, we are capable of manufacturing our own, and we are not dependent on anyone else for our arms and ammunition. For the naval personnel at large, having the Prime Minister in the midst of them is a great honor. It's an acknowledgement that yes, Indian Navy has a role to play, and the nation as such acknowledges the Indian Navy's role in keeping our boundaries safe. What one has to appreciate is most of our India's trade today, or for that matter, any nation in the world, the trade is carried out through sea. Irrespective of what we may say about air power or land power, when it comes to trade, it is the maritime route that every country prefers. India also has about 85 to 90% of its trade being shipped or going through the sea. This is where the Indian Navy plays an extremely important role of safeguarding our sea lane for our merchant shipping and merchant traffic. Whether we win a war or not, what is important is you require support, the economic support, there has to be a free movement of goods. This is what is ensured by the Indian Navy. The Indian Navy has kept the sea lanes, the sea channels free, not only for us, but also for friendly nations. If you observe the world news, n number of times Indian Navy has come to the rescue of friendly nations or even unfriendly nations whose ships have been hijacked by the Somalian pilots. At that point of time, India has never taken a stand, okay, I don't agree with this nation's policies or principles, so I'm not going to help it. We have stood with this policy that sea has to be a free zone, and anyone who needs help, the Indian Navy is in position to help. As was rightly brought out by my predecessor, the Navy's reach today is in the Mediterranean Sea, right up to Australia. You name it a place, the Navy can be there. And this is a direct acknowledgement by the head of the state or the Prime Minister of the Navy's capability and importance. And I think one needs to view his visit to INS Vikrant in this context. Over to you, Shivani.
Absolutely, sir. I thank both my guests for those